Right there. Well, former President Bush may be out of office, but his policies, including the handling of terror suspects and allegations of torture, will be front and center at a Senate hearing today. They'll be debating whether to create a so-called Truth Commission, and the reaction so far has been all over the map, you might say. Some say it is unnecessary. Others say it won't go far enough. And the president is trying to keep the whole thing at arm's length. Rhode Island's Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse is on the Senate Judiciary Committee, and he has praised the idea of this commission. Thank you so much for joining us, Senator. Let me ask you, why is this necessary at this point?
Well, I think it's necessary for two reasons. First of all, substantively, some of the things that the Bush administration did are so badly wrong that they have tainted us as a country. They've tainted our reputation. We've done things that we should never have done. The second and more insidious aspect of this is that the way they accomplished those things created, I don't know, sort of, back doors and loopholes in our democracy that we have to close up to make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen again. So there's both a substantive thing that was done very wrong, in fact, a number of them, and then a process question about how they got that to happen despite so many good Americans in the government at the time who knew better but were carved out of the process or just didn't know what was going on.
It's interesting, Senator Lindsey Graham was quoted saying that he would not attend today's hearing, and his quote was, "I think Congress has done its job and I'm ready to move on." This was all a big concern prior to the confirmation of Attorney General Eric Holder, but can you do this without GOP support? Would it look like, or perhaps come off to the American people, that the Democrats are listening to perhaps some of those left bloggers on the left who have been calling for this for so long?
It's important that we do this. There are a lot of different ways to do it. We can do it through our committee and subcommittee hearings. We can do it through an independent truth commission. We can do it by empowering executive organizations to do it. What's really important is that it be done. And if the Republicans want to boycott this effort, I think they're making a significant mistake, because I think when the story comes out, Americans will be truly horrified and upset by what was done. And we all need to be a part of making it right. We are all Americans, and we need to clean this thing up together.
What then would be the ultimate consequences if some of these truths that you say are out there are brought to the public beyond the words that we hear, and perhaps even some of the shocking information that is said to be out there? What then would be the next step, sir?
Well, it depends on what is shown. Obviously, after the Church Committee had its hearings in the Senate, but led to the Senate Intelligence Committee really years ago, there were substantial reforms that went through the entire intelligence community that were very helpful. I think in the wake of what was done wrong at the Bush Department of Justice, there will be significant reforms. We've already seen some already. And then ultimately, if people did in fact break the law, we do believe that they need to be held accountable. You don't get a pass.
I want to play something quickly that House Speaker Pelosi said with Rachel Maddow on her show February 25th.
What I have some concern about there is it has immunity. And I think that some of the issues involved here, like the politicizing of the Justice Department and the rest, may have criminal ramifications, and I don't think we should be giving them immunity.
Do you agree with the speaker there?
Yeah, I think the speaker is absolutely right. The question of when and whether to grant immunity is a very carefully drawn one. You need to include the Department of Justice. You need to make this sensibly. If you're giving blanket immunities and preventing prosecutions that could and would and should move forward, then you've made a mistake. If immunity is cleared by the prosecutors and it's a way to get people to testify, then I think it can be helpful. So there's really no hard and fast answer, but the speaker is dead right that you don't want blanket immunities that prevent prosecutions from going forward, not without a very thoughtful conversation with the prosecutors themselves.
All right, Senator Whitehouse, great talking with you today. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Tamara, and thank you.
So let's go over to